Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to yet another Destiny 2 video. Today we're talking all about the Garden of Salvation, and hopefully I can simplify and crunch this raid into only a 5-minute guide. Yeah, scratch that, it's gonna be a 10-minute guide. 5 is literally impossible. So let's stop wasting time, Timmy, and let's get right into it. The GOS raid takes place in the Black Garden, which is a fan favorite location from Destiny 1, and in it of course you'll be strictly fighting against the Vex. As for recommendations, I'll give you guys one loadout that I like in particular that's great throughout the entirety of this raid, and that loadout is the Izanagi's Burden with its Catalyst, the Recluse SMG, and the Wendigo Grenade Launcher. Other weapons work just fine, but this is a loadout that really shines in every minute of this raid. Armor 2.0 mods work amazingly well, especially the ones from your artifact, so slap those puppies on whenever you can. As for subclasses, I recommend the Sentinel, Weapons of Light Bubble, Dawnblade Well of Radiance, and the Night Stalker Tether. If you're using a Hunter, switch to the Celestial Nighthawk Golden Gun combo for the boss, as you do some pretty insane damage with that build. Alright, let's talk mechanics. The main one that you're going to see throughout this entire raid is the Tether. This is a very simple concept, but so many fail to grasp it right away, and it often leads to your fire team's demise. To get this tether mechanic to start, you need to find a small Vex box that is immune to damage. If you simply shoot at it, you can then get close to it and you'll become tethered with the box. You'll go in third-person mode and you won't be able to shoot back or fight against enemies, and you'll start tethering any other players in the area. This tether has a chain effect, and all 6 players can be tethered at once if you're close enough to each other. Whenever you're tethered, the objective is simple: complete the chain and link the Vex box to another Vex looking object. The tether mechanic does 3 possible things. It can open sealed off doors, aka the first encounter. It can give you and anyone else tethered a buff called Enlightened, which is the second and third encounter, or it can build platforms like it does in the final encounter. And no, not like Fortnite. If you're in a pinch, there's 2 ways to get untethered very quickly. Number 1 is if a teammate is far enough, he can simply shoot the box again to release the tether. The other way is to simply run out of the tethered area of effect. Now that you're familiar with the main mechanic, let's go through encounter by encounter. In the first encounter, your goal is pretty simple, since you're not actually defeating a boss. The big Vex harpy looking thing though is a boss that you'll be killing in the third encounter, so get a real good look at that son of a boom. Split yourselves into 2 teams of 3. The first team will be responsible for staying with the boss and collecting his voltaic overcharge. Think of this as explosive vomit. It's nasty, but you scoop that up and collect it, otherwise it blows up, killing you and your fire team. You can only hold so much throw up though, and after you pick it up, you'll have a 2-minute timer. Once it runs out, you can feel free to pick up more. If you've got a fetish for throw up though and you go in for more, well, you'll die, so don't do that. Unless it's about to wipe your whole team, then you might go down as a hero for collecting more throw up and saving the day. The other team is solely responsible for killing ads and continuing to open doors using the tethered box and connecting it to the objects on the door. Keep doing this until you get to the top of the Black Garden with a ton of Cyclopses. At this point, you need to turn yourself into Sonic the Hedgehog and just run through this and follow the boss. If you stay back and he vomits some more Vex puke that goes unchecked, it'll blow up and wipe you and your fire team. So kill stuff and move quickly, and you got yourself the first encounter done with. Then you have a jumping puzzle that a 5-year-old can probably get through, so please don't embarrass yourself on this one. There's 2 possible paths, one along the left and right hand side. Get to the room with the red glow and make your way to the second encounter. Now the second encounter's area is a big diamond with a hole in the middle. Once you enter, there is a path down the middle, one down the left and one down the right. Split into teams of 2, and each of you need to go down your path. The team in the middle will stay at their pillar and protect it. The objective is pretty damn simple: protect the pillar from Vex sacrificing themselves onto it. If they do so, you will wipe. Enemies will spawn with white shields. These are only penetrable with enlightened buff. This is why you need to constantly connect the tether so you can refresh your buff and slay out the onslaught of enemies. One player from the left and right side need to continue down their path after they get enlightened so that they can get to the final pillar, which is at the edge of the diamond, and protect yet another pillar, making that a grand total of 4 pillars. With 6 people and 4 pillars, this might sound like a nightmare, but it's very easy to reach each other because there are portals beside each and every single pillar. Slay ads for long enough until the walls go down and you can all make your way to the center of the diamond, which has another pillar that you need to protect. Congrats, after a short while you'll be at the 3rd encounter. The Harpy boss looking dude is back, split into 2 teams of 3. One team should have all the Dredgen Lords on it because you'll be collecting and depositing motes, while the others will stalk the boss and follow his every move. The Dredgens will have to kill Minotaurs very quickly and deposit motes at one of the pillars that are glowing. Get there quickly though, because ads will be sacrificing themselves in no time whatsoever. You need to bank a total of 30 motes without any Vex stealing motes by sacrificing. In the meantime, the other team needs to follow the boss around the map and get his voltaic overcharge. The player with this charge will be stuck in place and will have to call out whether the inner or the outer eyes are lit up when he opens up his wings. Then all 3 players need to shoot the eyes that the player calls out. After 3 phases of this, the Dredgen Lords should have 30 motes in the bank. If not, are they really even Gambit Lords? Probably not. Anyways, after 30 motes are banked, everybody will quickly go to the pillar with the banked motes. The Vex boss will also be making his way over here at this time, so be very quickly. Shoot all the eyes that open up on the boss and his crit spot will then appear. After you're done damage, simply rinse and repeat until the guy is dead. Finally, we have the boss that looks and sounds a lot like Atheon 5 years later. Oh, how far we've come. The good news is that the encounter is very interesting and mechanic heavy, so the lackluster boss is whatever in my opinion. Split into 3 teams of 2. One team should consist of players who are Fortnite gods because they'll be Bob the Buildering for this whole encounter. Whenever the boss makes the floor glow red, move out of the way or it'll kill you as he takes it. Once it's gone and you're not under too much pressure, have your Fortnite kids build it back up by tethering the Vex box to the other Vex objects on the floor. They're also responsible for killing ads, but that's not really one of their main priorities. The other teams will go by Team 1 and Team 2. After the Angelic Hydra is defeated, crit spots will open on the boss, one on the left leg and one on the right shoulder. Shooting the left one will open a left blue portal, and shooting the right one will open a right orange portal. Team 1 will go into the blue portal first and kill all the ads and come out with at least 15 motes. Once they pick them up, then Team 2 will shoot the same part on the boss to pull them out and open the portal so they can then go through. Team 1 will come back at the same time as the other team shoots, and they will bank their motes into the blue pillar since they went into the blue portal. They will then get the enlightened buff once they bank their motes and have the ability to destroy the immune Vex shields. After Team 2 is done getting their motes, Team 1 pulls them back in by shooting the same spot on the boss, and then they need to go into the other portal by shooting the right shoulder and start the cycle again, as Team 2 then banks their motes, increasing it up to 30. Once it's at 30 total motes on the first pillar or the first bank, a message will appear in the bottom left corner saying that it's full. After Team 1 and Team 2 do the same thing in the other portal and collect 30 more motes, they'll bank them at the orange pillar, and then it's almost time for DPS on the boss. Just remember though, while all of this is happening, whichever team is outside by the boss must kill all the ads before they sacrifice on either of the pillars. Every time you shoot the boss and open a portal, a Cyclops will also appear on the same side, so make sure that the team that is coming out with their motes kill it as they're banking the motes. After 4 portal runs and 60 total motes banked, 30 in each pillar, you'll be ready for DPS. Kill ads and then kill the angelic that spawns, and the boss will spawn a orange or blue cross in front of him. Have the 2 Fortnite builders add 1 person from whichever team to help them extend the tether to the orange or blue cross. Once this is done, 3 players that aren't tethering can start DPS on the same side that the tether was attached. The tethered players will then go to the other colored Vex boss and again connect the tether to the boss. This prolongs the DPS phase and allows for much more damage. While the boss is on the ground, I would highly recommend using grenade launchers, and while he's in the air, use snipers for precision shots. Make sure you use Lunafaction Well of Radiant boots for fast reloads and a Weapon of Light bubble for extra damage. Then simply rinse and repeat until he's dead. This shouldn't take you more than 2 phases, as if you do this properly, the DPS window lasts a pretty long time and you can get in tons of goldie shots as well as lots of sniper shots. And that is it, boys. Congrats, you have learned this entire raid in only 10 minutes. Go out there and kill it and make me proud. Have a good one, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.